It's Saturday morning, so it must be time for Win with Sports. I'm Joe Spano. He's Chris Long. He is the genius that will make sure you go to the pay window each and every week as he provides you the best and brightest 411 in sports handicapping. And Chris, we are jam-packed this week. We'll look back at all the Win with Sports picks that made sure everybody went to the pay window. And then as we move through the program, our focus is going to be on looking ahead to Week 12 in the world of college football, all the big plays there, and all the ones that will make you a winner in Week 11 in the National Football League, my friend.
Yeah, we're very excited about this week. I mean, to be honest with you, Joe, we're excited about every week, but this is a week that I'll hit on in a little bit that we love to exploit. Guys, come on aboard, see what we got to offer. We're going to recap a little bit, and then we're going to go forward. As always, that can be reached at 1-833-95-SPORT or winwithsports.com.
That's right, Chris, and those are great places to go to get all the 411 because you got to realize at Win with Sports, Chris has a team of 4 or 5 guys watching games, crunching numbers, hitting Twitter. It's all different methods of sports handicapping all coming together, along with Chris's background answering phones offshore for decades. And for just $3.49 a month, pick of the day comes out to about $11 a pick. There's high roller games. There's packages designed for everybody. So you make sure to call 1-833-95-SPORT. That's 833-957-7678 or hit the website, winwithsports.com, Chris.
Yes, I mean, like I said, I'm going to go into a different bankroll challenge in the next segment, so please stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to turn 1,000 into 8,000. I don't think you guys want to miss that. We're going to bring that up, and the first time we did it this year, we usually do it one time a year, and we're going to get everyone aboard of that. Get on these high roller games. Get on these games that we do not lose week after week after week.
Again, that's the information you can only get right here on this program and on the website, winwithsports.com, or by calling Chris at 833-95-SPORT. That's 833-957-7678. But up next, we'll take a quick look back at last week's high roller and radio games and let you know the wonderful job that Chris did making sure you went to the pay window. And also, we'll start looking ahead to next week, and we'll get into Chris's Bankroll Challenge. That's all next here on Win with Sports. I'm Joe Spano. He's Chris Long. You be sure to keep it where it is. Let's kick it off here on Win with Sports, Chris, by looking back at last week and how you sent everybody to the pay window and how everybody that logged on to winwithsports.com or called 833-95-SPORT. Again, that's 833-957-7678. Went to the pay window and cashed their tickets, my friend.
Hey, Joe, as always, this is my favorite part of the program. I love recapping winners. I love staring at winners. I love making money, and I love making you money. So let's start off with last week's games, our high roller picks. I remember this is the best level of picks that we offer. I mean, I give out some free picks here on the radio. Then we have a weekly club membership. This is the top level. Last week, we're looking at Pittsburgh -4 versus Virginia Tech. We've got an up-and-coming Pittsburgh team. Virginia Tech, I don't know what's happened to them. They've gone to total disarray. We've picked against them a couple of times. We might even do it again this week, Joe. I'm not sure. But Pittsburgh, we laid the 4. The final score there was 52-22. I think a 30-point win would just about cover the -4. What do you think there, Joe?
I think you covered with room to spare, my friend.
Yeah, those are the kind of games we like to give out. We love to give out a game like that. Again, you've heard me say this before, a cigar game. That's where when the game is on, you just light your cigar, you put your feet up and sit back and collect the cash.
Light up the victory cigar a la Red Auerbach.
There you go. Now you're dating yourself with Red Auerbach. But here we go. Kansas. We love that little Kansas team. Don't you hear me talk about Kansas a lot, Joe? Kansas is a team that's up and coming. They're on the rise. I mean, they have a bunch of young kids. They're not really winning, but they're staying in games. +11 versus Kansas State. Bill Snyder, I love the man. I know he's been doing an excellent job forever, but I think he's in his 80s. I'm not sure how old he is. He should be done pretty soon. But Kansas, +11 versus Kansas State. They lost 21-17, but that was an easy cover. They pretty much led the whole way. They gave up like they normally do just towards the end. We did have one loser, and this is my fault on this one. I really like Coastal Carolina. We're still trying to figure out what happened in that game. Coastal Carolina +7, the Chanticleers on that teal field. They had a huge edge in the rushing game, but they fell down 14-0. They never got a chance to run the ball. They were throwing the ball. That's not what they do well. They got blown out by Arkansas State. But 2-1, I'll take it every single week, 66%. Let's figure out how we can go on to this week's games, Joe.
Absolutely. And just a quick look back from the standpoint of you've talked about Kansas and how much Win with Sports likes the Kansas Jayhawks. Now, I want everybody to understand, because when people think of Kansas football, they think of laughingstock football. They hear Kansas has fired their coach, which they have, and their coach is finishing out the season, and there's going to be a new coach next season. But yet, if you're locked in and locked and loaded with Win with Sports, they've told you how to make money betting Kansas Jayhawks football. So that's pretty impressive right there. And you found a team very much under the radar in a power conferences from a sports wagering standpoint, not necessarily from a win-loss standpoint, but a win-loss standpoint with the number. I think that's interesting, number one. And number two, you had mentioned Coastal Carolina. Got a team who you love their running game. They get down. Sometimes that's just out of your control. It's one of those things that happens. But bottom line, 2 out of 3 is 2 out of 3. 67% at the pay window, you'll always make money if you can do that.
That is correct. And just to elaborate on your little Kansas thing, we love the fact that they snuck in there and didn't win again. That's what keeps the value on that team. Kansas, we don't love Kansas. You know what we love? We love plus 11. We're always betting numbers. We are not betting teams. We are betting numbers. So that's the way it comes out for us. Now, I'm going to recap a couple other things, but just so you understand how we get to these games, if you're listening for the first time, you'll get to hear something you never heard before. If you're joining us for the second or third week, you've heard this before, but I need to repeat myself every once in a while for my new listeners. Now, we have a team, 4 to 5 guys, a little round table of handicapping. A couple of guys crunching numbers, a couple of guys reading the papers, reading the Twitter boards, other guys watching the TV, trying to see if the offense or defensive line has an advantage. Guys, I have to put everything together under the guidance of Lenny C., Mr. Smalls. He's the captain of this ship. I'm the spokesperson. Basically, we'll have 4 to 5 guys sitting around. Each one of them will come with their games, Joe. They'll have their list. But in order for me to make a play with my money and to make a play with your money, in order to sell it to somebody, every single one of those guys has to match up on a side, and that's how you get a high roller. That's why there's so few of them. I know there's 30 games on Saturday. I gave out 3. That's just the way it is. I'm not going to force a play if I don't like anything. We gave out 3. We went 2-1. Over in the NFL, we gave out 2 games, and we won 2 games there. We can touch on those, but that's how Win with Sports comes up with a high roller play. 5 guys all need to match, then we unload. 833-95-SPORT or 833-957-7678 or winwithsports.com. And guys, we have a package for everyone. The high roller package is what I advise for everyone to come out on. Those are designed for people betting over 1,000 a game. But if you don't bet 1,000 a game, you want to try my high roller package, feel free to give me a call. Ask me what package I can roll you into. I just want you to get maximum profit out of these plays because I know they're going to win. So I want you to little step out. I don't want you to bet your house, but I want you to step out a little bit above your comfort zone. That's how we come to those high roller plays, and that's what I want you to do with it, Joe.
Well said, Chris, and I think you're exactly right. This is what people need to do because a lot of these packages include money management, and all plays are not created equal. So if you're smart with your money management, in addition to picking the winners, which you guys at Win with Sports are, you're going to send your customers to the pay window, and they are going to be happy because they're going to come home with pockets full of cash, and everybody likes pockets full of cash.
Who doesn't like cash, Joe? I mean, that cash is king. That's what we're all talking about. So what I'll do now is just want to recap our NFL high roller games from last week, and then in the next 2 segments, we're going to look at forget about the past and figure out how we're going to make money. But the NFL, if you guys are listening to me on this show, the Oakland Raiders and Mr. $100 million man, John Gruden, I think he's a fraud. I don't think he knows what he's doing. I think he's in over his head. More importantly, I think the team has quit on him. We actually gave this out on the radio last week as a free play. It was a bankroll play as well. The Chargers -10 versus the Raiders. 20-6 winner. We told you how the Chargers shut down the Raiders the first time around. 10 points, 250 yards, and that was with Amari Cooper. This is what we expected to happen. We told you last week on the radio. We told you with Amari Cooper they were shut down. Now, without Amari Cooper, Joe, they came up with 6 points this time around, so they actually got worse than the 10 points that Chargers held them to. Chargers minus 10, 20-6 winner. We expected a little bit more points, but we will take the comfortable cover. And then my main man in the Bills. Joe, do we talk about the Bills every week with Peterman and Show? I didn't expect Matt Barkley to be Dan Marino last week. I really didn't see that coming. But Bills +7, 41-10 winner over the Jets. I'd be lying to you if I told you they were going to win 41-10. I didn't see it. Nobody saw it. What I did see, Joe, is Bills +7. What do I tell you? Don't bet teams. I bet numbers. You had Sam Darnold out for the Jets. We had the Bills. Matt Barkley. I thought I could have played quarterback against the Jets last week, handed the ball off to LaShawn McCoy, and covered the 7. I really thought it was going to be a 10-7 squeaker, maybe 14-10, something like that. I didn't see 41-10, but we took the Bills +7, and we were not disappointed. I think you hear me talk about the Bills a lot on this show. I don't have a love fest for the Bills. I just love the number that's attached to them. They play solid defense. They have a decent offensive line. They just had terrible quarterback play, and usually if they just get below average quarterback play, they'll cover. If they get Pop Warner quarterback play, they're not going to cover like that week against the Bears. But anyway, Chargers laid a 10, 20-6, easy winner. Bills +7 versus the Jets, 41-10, easy winner. There's one favorite. There's one underdog. I can't tell you. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no set. I'm not going to say I'm going to bet all underdogs, of this many points or all favorites. I look at the game individually, and I come up with a winner. So there you go, 2-1 in the colleges, 2-0 in the NFL. 4-1 for last week's bankroll.
4-1. That's 80%. If you go 80% every week, unless you're a blithering idiot with managing your money, you're going to the pay window and you're coming out with stacks of cash. And of course, if you're hooking up with Win with Sports at winwithsports.com or at 833-95-SPORT, you're going to have some of that money management 411. So you're not going to be screwing up. You're going to get that extra edge there in addition to these winners. When we come back, deep dive into Week 12 in college football. And we got to start getting into this Bankroll Challenge. That's all next on Win with Sports. Joe Spano, Chris Long. You be sure to keep it where it is. Win with Sports rolls on for a Saturday morning. And Chris, before we send everybody to the pay window and make money with our picks in Week 12 in college football, let's get to this Bankroll Challenge. We've been teasing it for the better part of a half hour now. We haven't told anybody what it's all about. So take us through the Bankroll Challenge at Win with Sports and break it all down for us.
Okay, Joe, so the Win with Sports Bankroll Challenge is fairly simple. I mean, it takes a lot of talent to get it done, but the explanation is fairly simple. So every year, we have a card that we absolutely love, like this card. We absolutely love this weekend's college football card. Now, the Bankroll Challenge is simply this. Guys, send me $1,000 and I will turn that into $8,000 before Monday Night Football. So $1,000 into $8,000. How we're going to do that? We're going to take $1,000 and turn into $2,000, $2,000 into $4,000, and $4,000 into $8,000 on 3 simple games. Like I said, I only do this one time a year. And why do I do it? And I don't always do it November 20th or October 16th. I do it when I absolutely love a card, when I can put the proof where the pudding is. We're going to crush this card. We offer it once a year. Please give me a call, 1-833-95-SPORT, 1-833-957-7678, or reach me at winwithsports.com. Please ask for the Bankroll Challenge. 1,000 into 8,000 in 3 simple plays, Joe. I know we teased it for a little bit, but this is a super, super offer. Who couldn't use an extra 8,000 this weekend?
I could certainly use an extra $8,000 each and every day. Before we actually start diving into some of the matchups that we're going to spotlight here on the program, just give us a little insight into what makes this week's card so special and why this is the week you've isolated for the Bankroll Challenge. Okay,
so it's pretty funny. This week, the SEC, they play their little, we want to call it a bye week, but they're actually playing teams. This is when these teams come out of the woodwork and they get beat up on and they get a big payday for their school. Now, Joe, it's funny. I was watching the news conference with Nick Saban, and a reporter had the nerve, and I say that sarcastically, to ask him why he would even play Tua in this game. And Nick Saban went on a rant, and just said, Citadel's a real team, and the Citadel, why would I sit a guy? This is a real game versus a real team. And I don't even know how he does that with a straight face. I know he really means it because he's a pro. He's a pro's pro. But, Alabama playing Citadel. Joe, you know what the line is on that game? I don't think you could find one, but I'll find one for you.
I couldn't find it. By all appearances, where I looked, I saw it as off the board. So you're obviously the man, Chris. So if anybody can find a line, it's you. And I'm assuming you found one because I couldn't find one.
Yeah, we're in tune. We got places, and don't laugh at me, but we have bookmakers in China. There's books everywhere, Costa Rica, Panama, wherever you want to call it. But we saw a line out there. Alabama minus 51 points versus the Citadel. And the funny point about that is the total is 61. You got 10 points of error between the total and the side. 51 minus 51 with a total of 61. That brings up a great correlated parlay. We'll go into that another time. But, if you can go over to 51, you can lay to 51 and go over 61 or take 51 and go under 61. That's pretty much getting parlay odds on a single bet. It's really hard to lose. It's hard to go, and break that up. But anyways, this is the kind of week that we look at because you want to know why? I'm looking at these games, Joe. There's really not much to pick out there. The SEC pretty much playing a bye. Nobody's playing anybody. They're playing, the directional state left or the Sisters of the Poor. All those games are off the board for everybody. What's the best game of the week? Notre Dame, Syracuse? Is that it, Joe?
There's Notre Dame, Syracuse. There's Penn State and Rutgers, which has some intrigue because of Penn State. And then you have a bunch of the other teams that are in the mix for the college football playoffs, and they're all playing teams that they're much better than within conference outside of the SEC teams. They're kind of getting ready for their natural rivals in the last game of the regular season. I guess the most competitive one within the top 25 that has that real intrigue outside of Notre Dame and Syracuse is Cincinnati at Central Florida, two of the best Group of Five conference schools in the country. Doesn't really have college football playoff implications, but in this week's slate, ABC made it their primetime game.
See, now that there we go. Now you're in Chris Long's wheelhouse. You're in Win with Sports wheelhouse. So we just try to look for games not to bet on, Joe, just to watch. We were just looking for interesting games, and we couldn't really find any. We had to look all over. But guess what? That's where we specialize. I love the bad card. I love the crappy teams. I love the bad matchups. I love the games that you don't want to watch. I love the Ball States and the Toledos and the Ohios and the Arkansas States and the Rutgers and those kind of teams, bad matchups, Michigan, Indiana. Those are the kind of games we love and live off of. Alabama and Clemson, when they play each other, it's a phenomenal game. But you think anyone's going to make a mistake on a line like Alabama versus Clemson?
No. And again, this is where you get that edge. You get a card like this full of bad games, full of overlays, full of misguided lines. And while it's not necessarily entertaining television when you're sitting there with your remote control looking for entertaining football, well, there's great opportunities to get paid. And sometimes getting paid is better than watching TV. Actually, always getting paid is better than watching TV. So if there are great opportunities to get paid with a card like this, and they usually are, we're going to isolate them at Win with Sports. And again, winwithsports.com or 833-95-SPORT. That's 833-957-7678. So let's dive into some of these matchups in a Week 12 in college football. And let's start with Penn State. They're heading east. They're heading to Piscataway, New Jersey. They're laying 4 touchdowns at a number 14 team in the country, and they're taking on maybe the worst Power 5 conference team in all of college football, and that's the Rutgers Scarlet Knights.
Joe, you're being very kind using the word maybe there. Did you even put like the old air quotes up there? Maybe. They probably are the worst team that in Power 5. Last week, Michigan kind of walked through that Rutgers game. That spread was 39. Rutgers got I believe it was an 80-yard run early on. They broke one for 80 yards. That was all they did. They barely crossed the midfield. They were dominated the entire game. But they got the money, okay? They got the money as far as Vegas is concerned. So what that does is that's going to set us up for a better value on Penn State. Had Rutgers got blown out 77-7 like they did the year before, 77-0, this line probably would have been Penn State 32, 33, maybe even pushing 34. But since they snuck in there, they sleptwalked through, they got the cover last week, that gives us value on Penn State. Penn State is going to destroy Rutgers, Joe. I'm sorry to say it. Penn State with McSorley and that running game and that defense, Rutgers will be lucky to score a point. If they do, it'll be a fluke, either a turnover or an 80-yard run where busted coverage or something like that. They're probably not going to get more than 7. We're not laying 39 like Michigan was last week. This spread, I say, is only 28. Lay Penn State minus 28 versus Rutgers and walk all the way to the bank.
And besides, when you play Rutgers, it's like a home game for you. Nobody goes to the Rutgers games to watch Rutgers, and Penn State's one of these Northeast programs that has people all over the Northeast, so that stadium will be packed with Penn State fans, and it'll feel like a mini Penn State home game.
That is correct. And like I said, we like Penn State to cover there. We talked about our bankroll challenge, our turning 1,000 into 8,000. Will this be one of my games? I don't know, Joe. You're going to have to call me to get that out of me. 1-833-95-SPORT, 1-833-957-7678, or reach me on the website at winwithsports.com. This is good enough to give out on the radio, but is it good enough as a bankroll? I don't know. Let's move on to the next game.
Well, this is the best popcorn game of the weekend. It's a marquee matchup between two teams that are ranked. It's a neutral site game, has playoff implications as number 3 undefeated Notre Dame takes on Syracuse at Yankee Stadium. Notre Dame's technically considered the home team. Syracuse is a 10-point underdog in this one.
Joe, did you see Notre Dame's pants that they came out for this week? Did you see the little pinstripe pants?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so maybe that's going to make them cover the spread. What do you think? The pants make everything. Don't they make the difference?
No,
they definitely they definitely don't. Okay, here we're looking at a game. Notre Dame probably going to win this game. Notre Dame is the better team. Notre Dame is the higher ranked team. They deserve to be favored. They are a 10-point favorite. But Joe, I'm looking at this game, and I see Syracuse. I love Dino Babers. I think he's a great coach. He's a genius offensive mind. He's got that Syracuse program that hasn't been relevant since like Donovan McNabb. He's got them playing well. He's got them ranked. I love Eric Dungey, the quarterback. So when I'm looking at this game, very easily, Syracuse plus the 10, very easily can be down 16, 15, 14 late. And you got Mr. Eric Dungey with the ball, with Dino Babers running around all over the place. Against a prevent defense, Joe. Against the prevent defense, we're very live for the back door there. You guys know what the back door is when you're covering the spread and someone gets a touchdown late. So we see backdoor potential with the Syracuse Orangemen here. Eric Dungey, Dino Babers, and take the 10 and forget about the pinstripe pants.
Any other games with college football playoff implications excite you? Most of the teams with college football playoff chances, they're all huge double-digit favorites. The exceptions are number 9 West Virginia, who's only a 6.5-point favorite, and that's really it. All the other teams with a chance to college football playoffs are double-digit favorites. Do you like any of them as plays? Do you have a side on any of them?
I mean, I do have sides on some of them, but not sides that I'm going to give out over here. Again, you're going to have to call me for the best information. I'm looking at some games like Ohio State and Maryland. We touched on Durkin, being reinstated and then fired, and who knows what's going on over there. And Ohio State's defense just being atrocious. West Virginia, I hear thoughts of Will Grier maybe being the top quarterback, with Herbert possibly staying in. They're a solid team. Oak State, they've been playing well. Again, Michigan versus Indiana, minus 28. My recommendation for you guys, watch the games. Maybe it's a blowout, maybe it's close. I can't offer anything to you guys there. I mean, another game that I really like is Miami, Florida versus Virginia Tech. No implications anywhere. We bet against Virginia Tech last week. Who knows? Maybe we'll do it again. Maybe Miami's a bankroll challenge game. I don't know. 1,000 into 8,000. 1-833-95-SPORT. 1-833-957-7678. Or reach me on the web at winwithsports.com.
Up next, we'll make you money in Week 11 in the NFL. That's next here on Win With Sports. Joe Spano, Chris Long with you. You be sure to keep it where it is. We continue here with Win With Sports on a Saturday morning. Joe Spano, Chris Long with you. And again, to get the high roller plays and to make sure you're going to the pay window, hit us up at winwithsports.com, or even better, reach out to Chris at 833-95-SPORT. That's 833-957-7678. Again, $349 a month. That's a pick every day. Comes out to about $11 a pick. There's high roller games. There's packages designed for everybody. Whether you're betting over $1,000 a game, whether you're doing less, whether you're doing more, Chris has a package for you. Some of them include money management. There's all kinds of things going on at Win with Sports. The common thread between all these different packages, they're going to send you to the pay window. So check it out at winwithsports.com or dial up 833-95-SPORT. That's 833-957-7678. Week 11 in the NFL, Chris. There are several opportunities that you guys like at Win with Sports to make money in concert with the Bankroll Challenge. And one of the games you really like is a marquee matchup on Sunday night between the Vikings, who are a 3-point underdog, heading to Soldier Field in Chicago to take on the Bears.
All right, Joe. Yeah, you hit right at home with that game. Hopefully, and when I say hopefully, I pretty much know that's where we're going to be. You're going to be 2-0 on College Football Saturday, and we're looking for that third game of the Bankroll Challenge where you're going to turn 1,000 into 8,000. Will Minnesota be the third game? I don't know, but this is a game that we absolutely love. If you listened to the show last week, we talked about the Bears versus the Lions. Now, part of my play in that game was the odds makers had the line reflecting the Bears being a better team than the Vikings. We didn't believe it. We know it wasn't true. And lo and behold, look at this line this week, Joe. The Vikings are +3 at the Bears. What does that mean? You get pretty much 3 points for home field advantage. That means they're telling you these two teams are equal. That's pretty much what we thought. Last week, the Bears were 2.5 points power rated higher, and we just didn't buy it. And now that they're playing heads up, we see that we were right all along. The Vikings and the Bears are pretty even teams. I like the quarterback matchup with Minnesota. I like the offensive matchup with Minnesota. I don't think the Bears have played anyone this year. I thought for a second, Joe, that they became a member of the AFC East. What do you think about that?
The AFC East outside of New England is god-awful. Miami has proven to just be an team after the impressive start. Again, you can make some money if you're smart and you log on to Win with Sports, or you call up 833-95-SPORT. That's 833-957-7678. You can make some money with the Bills. You can make some money with the Jets. But none of those teams, other than the New England Patriots, win football games very often. So the realities are, you know, if you're the Chicago Bears, you're blessed by playing everybody in the AFC East. And even the Patriots have proven to be mortal. Look at what happened with them last week against Tennessee. An athletic, speedy, physical defense covered that New England offense like a blanket, Chris.
Yep, and so now we get back to my point. The Bears, they played the Dolphins. They played the Bills. They played the Jets. They lost to the Patriots, the only real team in that division. And like you said, the Patriots don't look like world beaters. They look mortal. But they beat up on the Lions, the Bills, the Jets. That's what they've done. That's what their record has come from. And that's what Trubisky has been facing. He looks real good, but he has not faced anyone like the Minnesota Vikings. The Bears have not faced anyone like the Minnesota Vikings. Give me the Vikings. Give me 3 points. 3 points is huge in the NFL. A lot of these games land on 3. When you score in 3s and 7s, that's what the games land on. So, guys, I really like the Vikings here. Take the Vikings +3 versus the Bears. And like I said, maybe that's to close out your Bankroll Challenge. Maybe it's not. What else are we looking at, Joe?
But the only way to find out if that's a Bankroll Challenge game is to call 833-95-SPORT. That's 833-957-7678. Or hit the website, Chris, and that's winwithsports.com. And that's what you will do every week. If you call this phone number or log on to this website, you're going to win with sports. I want to get to the other marquee matchup of the weekend. Prime time on a Monday night. The Bankroll Challenge is in the rearview mirror. You've turned everybody's $1,000 into $8,000. On a Monday night, Chiefs at Rams. It's been moved from Mexico City to Los Angeles. The Rams are a 3.5-point favorite. Am I sending it home on a Monday night, or am I content to take my $8,000, put it in my pocket, and I'm done?
Okay, Joe, I like how you said KC at the LA Rams because that wasn't the case for a little bit. That was supposed to be playing in Azteca Stadium. I hope I said that right. In Mexico City.
Stadio Azteca.
All right, I'll leave that up to you, the Spanish major. But here we go. The Rams were playing down there in Mexico City. The line was right around 2.5, I want to say. The Rams minus 2.5. They get this game moved because the field was atrocious, and I don't even know why. Shame on the NFL for even allowing this. I think the players, you might have seen Todd Gurley and Jared Goff and Kareem Hunt and Patrick Mahomes. They might have just sat out anyway if the NFL tried to force their hand in this one. Kudos to letting them get that game over to LA. Now we're looking at 2.5. We go home, and it's only 3.5, Joe. There's something weird about that. Home field advantage we just talked about a couple seconds ago is usually worth around 3 points. I thought this game would have went to 5.5, but here's the reason. LA, they really don't have a home field advantage. There's going to be just as many Chief fans as there. You ever watch a game in LA with the LA Rams lately? It's like people go there on vacation. It's like Arizona for the guys from Chicago or Miami for the guys from New York. I mean, people they say they want to go to LA, they want to watch a football game. We're lucky if it's 50-50. So the odds makers are telling you right there, the LA Rams have pretty much close to 0 home field advantage. They only added 1 point when they're supposed to add 3. So now we're sitting there looking at a 3.5. And Joe, I don't think I'm going to have us send it in, as you said. I think we would take our $8,000 and go, spend some extra money on Black Friday. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I like the sound of that, and so do all the retailers around the country. Chris Long advises you to take some of that $8,000 and go spend it in the malls. And again, every retailer around the country is thrilled that you've made that suggestion. And and let's double back a little bit. And I talk about sending it home on Monday night, and you know this better than I do. It is something that gamblers do all the time. Not the 1% and not the sharps, not the guys like you who make money on a weekly basis, but that guy every week that's trying to figure out a way to make money, that guy that loses almost every week, that guy that needs win with sports. He's always sending it home on Monday night. It's why that Monday night football game is the game that takes in the most revenue from a betting perspective each week. And pretty often it's not a great play. So that's why I always say sending it home on Monday night. And I think bettors have to be careful about that, Chris.
Yeah, of course. And the thing is, it's a standalone game. It's the only game in town. If I'm looking at 1 o'clock, I got 5, 6, 7 games to choose from. At 4 o'clock, usually 3, 4 games to choose from. I have only one game to choose from, so I either have to really love the play or I'm going to pass. Now, I'm not saying I don't like anything on the side, but I will tell you guys, this total, 63.5, okay? I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this about 20 years. My partner closer to 40. I have never seen a higher total than this in the history of the NFL. So, though, again, when we talk about history of the NFL, that's a long time. I think they charted the spreads going back. The last thing I saw was 1986. So since 1986, there's never been a total this high. What is Chris Long like? Joe, am I going to go over or am I going to go under? I don't know. Not going to tell you that. If you want to give me a call, I can find the winner for you, 833-95-SPORT or 833-957-7678, or reach me at winwithsports.com. And like I said, sometimes the best thing I can tell you to do is pass a game. I'm telling you to pass the side. I'm not telling you to pass the total. We're going to take a look at that total, look to exploit one of the highest totals in the history of the game.
And Chris, we talked about it. It's a standalone game. Sometimes we tell you to take a pass at Win with Sports. But if you really got to have a bet, check with the Win with Sports guys. Chris has a take on the total. Also, NBA is in full swing. College basketball is now in full swing. Win with Sports is a full-service sports handicapping service. So you can get plays in the NBA, not only on a side, but on totals. Same deal in college basketball. So there's plenty of action there. The NHL, pretty well anything you want, it's all there for you at Win with Sports. So you don't have to settle for making a bad bet to have some action. Go to the Win with Sports guys at winwithsports.com or call them again at 833-95-SPORT. That's 833-957-7678 and get the good plays, whether they be in the National Football League, college football, the NBA, college basketball, the NHL, soccer. They've got it all, and it can be teams, it can be totals, it can be both. It's all there for you at Win with Sports, Chris.
Yeah, and like I said, I cannot pick up the phone and dial for you. If you're not calling me, that means you just hate money. 2 weeks ago, I tried to tease the Cowboys-Titans game for you. We really love the side there. We sent it in on the Titans. Easy winner. Last week, I told you I loved the Monday night game. It was the Niners and the Giants. We also had a nice winner there on the Giants. It wasn't as easy as the Titans, but the Giants are a real football team playing against Nick Mullins. I mean, we took the 3.5. We got the outright winner. Guys, I can't pick up the phone and dial for you. If you guys like money, you got to give me a call. $1,000 bankroll challenge, 1,000 into 8,000, 833-95-SPORT, 833-957-7678, or reach me on the web at winwithsports.com. And Joe, there's a couple other games out there in the NFL this week that look enticing. I'm going to start with the marquee matchup here, Oakland Raiders and Arizona Cardinals.
Wow. But that's what we call a 5-thumb special on TiVo. Actually, it's really a friends and family special. If you don't have a relative on the team, you ain't watching.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. We're going to pick out that game, and I just try to cheese and make a joke here about the marquee matchup. But believe it or not, that is the largest spread move of the week. The Arizona Cardinals got all the money. They went from 3.5. I'm staring at a 5.5 there. My buddy John Gruden down there just destroying that place. How bad do you have to be a 5.5 point dog to the Arizona Cardinals? I mean, that's just telling you everything there is. You make a guy a captain and then you cut him, you trade him, you get rid of everybody. Khalil Mack is just tearing up the league. So there's games like that. And the funny thing is, I'm making a joke about this game, but we actually like something there. These are the kind of games that we exploit. I'm not going to give you a side on the Rams and the Chiefs. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you a side on the Cardinals and the Raiders, because everybody is like, I don't want to watch that game. I don't know anything about it. Odds makers might be sleeping. They're looking more at games like Pittsburgh and Jacksonville. They're looking more at games like Cincinnati and Baltimore or Dallas and Atlanta. These are very, highly bet games that the odds maker is very rarely going to make a mistake on. So we live on mistakes, Joe. That's what we do. We live on guys making mistakes. And again, my round table has to agree in order for me to release it as a bankroll game, a high roller game. That's what you're going to get when you give me a call at 833-95-SPORT or 833-957-7678. Reach me on the web at winwithsports.com. This week only, turn 1,000 into 8,000. Joe, I'll let you take it away.
Win with Sports, basically they have that great batter's eye and they wait for that hanging slider, and they hit those hanging sliders out of the park every time. And what that means for you, it means you're going to the pay window. So again, hit it up, winwithsports.com, 833-95-SPORT, 833-957-7678. And as Chris said, Bankroll Challenge, $1,000 turns into $8,000 in one weekend. When we come back, we'll tie a bow around it for this Saturday edition of Win with Sports. You be sure to not turn that dial. Let's tie a bow around another edition of Win with Sports, Chris, and it was a great one. We've got the Bankroll Challenge. We gave you winners in the world of college football. We gave you winners in the world of the NFL. We also told you, hey, Win with Sports is doing NBA. They're doing college football. They're doing totals. There isn't a thing you can't get in the world of sports handicapping from Win with Sports. And we kind of gave you a good dose of it today in this episode of the program.
Yeah, and like I said, this is a very exciting week for me. This is the week that we decided to select, to highlight for our Bankroll Challenge. That's only done once a year. And guess what? That 1 week is this week. So very exciting for me to recap winners from last week. Very exciting for me to look at games that we may or may not use in the Bankroll Challenge. Guys, 1,000 into 8,000. 1-833-95-SPORT, 1-833-957-7678, or reach me at winwithsports.com. This does not come around only one time a year. It does not come around often. Guys, everyone can use an extra $8,000. Give me a call. We'll work something out. And we got Black Friday coming up. So, guys, you'll have a lot of cash to buy for your girls. Or if you got some females out there listening, you got some stuff to buy for your men. Joe, what do you think?
What about buying for yourself? I mean, maybe I'm the ultimate selfish person, but I could see, quick $8,000 in my pocket and, I could see a new timepiece on my wrist or something like that. What about taking care of number one?
Joe,
since I'm number one, everybody should take care of me.
But, Joe, for you, we have a special package. There's no 1,000 into 8,000. We know you're a high roller.
10,000 into 80,000.
10,000 into 80,000.
Now we're talking
You
my
hit
line.
the hammer right on the head, the nail right on the head with the hammer. 10,000 into 80,000. There are a few guys out there. They like to be discreet. Joe's not discreet. He knows he's in that high roller lane. But, guys, all seriousness, give me a call, 833-95-SPORT, 833-957-7678. Turn 1,000 into 8,000. This is your one and only chance for this year. Or reach me on the web at winwithsports.com. That's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to win with sports. You're going to get games like Pittsburgh -4, 52-22 winner, or Kansas +11, the Jayhawks. Nice out, like a 21-17 loser to rival Kansas State. Easy cover. Or maybe we will go with the Bills. Matt Barkley looking like Dan Marino, +7 versus the Jets, 41-10 winner. Guys, those are the games you're going to get with me.
You'll be styling and profiling. And for Chris Long, I'm Joe Spano. As we tie a bow around this edition of Win with Sports, we'll see you at the pay window.